What starts here stops here. A Tale of Glasgow and the World by Babsney Grieger and Annabel Wright. Robin wasn't chuffed. His wee red breast out it puffed. He'd been eyeing up a juicy worm to fill his empty belly when the weather suddenly turned out of the blue. Now here he was, caught between a gable end and a hard rain, in need of shelter, fast, and staring into the eyes of a guy who had a little bird just like him, perched on his hand. "Mornin'," says the guy. Robin spotted a crack in the brickwork. In the blink of an eye, he was through. Whoosh! He landed on the hand of a very big clock with a loud tick-tock that pushed him back in time. Now here he was, on Glasgow Green, on a bright Sunday morning, watching a man taking his mind for a walk. Robin could see inside his busy head. "Call me Watty," says the guy, all cock-a-hoop. "I've just dreamt up an amazing steam engine that can power everything from trains and ships to factories and mills. I'm a world changer." Fast forward, whoosh! A mansion in the merchant city. Robin flew in on a sunbeam. Now Watty was being toasted by men in hats and tails. They have their nest well feathered, thought Robin. "Machines are music to my ears," the inventor was saying. "The sounds of progress." Suddenly, a trapdoor opened, and Robin was sucked down into a murky hollow below. Thick soot hung in the air. Robin nearly choked. He could hardly hear himself think for all the noise. While in the corner, men fed a fiery furnace with coal. Huff, puff, groan, moan, clickety-clack. Staring out at him from the shadows were three kids, gaunt and grimy, mere skeletons. Under 12, he guessed. "I see a darkness," said the first. "Every day I'm sent down the mines. 12-hour shift. Nooks and crannies. Bent double. I'll cave in. Can't breathe." "I see a darkness," said the second. "Every day I'm sent up the chimneys, working my elbows to the bone, red raw, starved so I don't get stuck. Can't breathe either." "I just see the mill," said the third. "That's darkness enough. Scavenging cotton scraps from under the spinning mule, taking my life in my hands every time. I've already lost 2 fingers. Next time it might be my head. It's no life at all." Robin felt their pain and wondered if Watty did. He shivered, and the whole house shook to its very foundations. There, in the pitch black, was a ship sailing across the shadows, its hold stuffed to the gills with people in chains. One of them was Oloda, a boy from the kingdom of Bena. "It gets so hot down here. We can't breathe," he whispered. "Jammed in like sardines. We get sick. Some of us die and are thrown overboard to feed the fishes, while the rest of us are finished off by the plantations. Spread the word, little bird. Your city's wealth is built on our bent-over backs, but there will be blowback. Mark my words. Never had Robin seen or smelled such human misery. The ship faded out of sight, but the stench lingered. Whoosh! Suddenly, an escape hatch opened and a gust of air lifted him right out of the darkness and over to the necropolis, the city of the dead, home to 50,000 taciturn Glaswegians. Over the bridge of sighs came a man with the biggest forehead Robin had ever seen, carrying a jam jar full of rainwater. His head was a bubbling laboratory of test tubes. "I'm Gus Smith," says the fellow. "They call me the Big Daddy of acid rain. All these factories are poisoning us with their smoke, you know. Take a gander at this guy." He turned towards a statue. Owned a big chemical factory, apparently. And now the acid rain has eaten away his face. Karma, thought Robin, imagining a toxic rain seeping into the lungs of an unsuspecting population, however, was grim. The cemetery was now giving Robin the heebie-jeebies, so off he flew down to the Clyde, and bang, into the path of a very large tiger, who was completely off the wall and pure raging. "Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge," he roared. "You humans are killing me and my kind. You chop down our forest homes to build your roads, plant your mega crops and graze your animals before butchering them into burgers." Robin remembered a homeless orangutan in Iceland had once told him a similar story. He made it clear he wasn't a human, had no intention of pushing the tiger, and swiftly hit the heavens. Only to run into some parakeets, as you do. What a colourful dash they cut across the grey city sky. Turned out they were on the run. "Our crops failed. The rains didn't fall this year for some reason. We were starving," said one. "My island disappeared under water when the tsunami hit it," said another. "My beautiful forest home caught fire," said a third. Robin felt sorry for them. We're all fae somewhere, he thought. Hopefully, given time, they would feel on home turf in Glasgow, just like him. Further downstream, a giant armadillo with a degree in ecosystems engineering was foraging in the concrete. People make Glasgow. The banners were up again. It wasn't that Robin disagreed. It was just that no mention had been made of the birds, the animals, and the trees that made this city the dear green place he loved. He felt himself getting wound up. Time for a chill pill. Flying south towards Pollock, Robin alighted on the top of a beech tree for a breather, only to find himself eye to eye with a man sitting calmly in the upper branches. "What on earth are you doing up here?" he asked the birdman. "I'm trying to stop a motorway ripping through this place," replied the guy. "This parkland was gifted to the people of Glasgow. 9 days I've spent up here now. I grew up playing in those woods. Trees are the lungs of the planet, you know. 1 in 5 kids has asthma around here. More cars will make that worse." Down below, his tribe had set up camp around a totem pole. Some people were busy carving wood, others cooking food. Around a fire, kids were hearing stories they had never heard in school. A girl was singing a Push to be off. "We're learning from the wisdom of ancient peoples," said the man. They've not been uprooted like us. Only when the last tree has been cut down, and the last river been poisoned, and the last fish been caught, will we realise we cannot eat money. Wise counsel, thought Robin, as he followed the sound of a school bell ringing repeatedly and watched as a uniformed stream of kids flooded out the gates. They were all determined to stop the bulldozers rolling down the road to tear up their forest. It was Valentine's Day, 1995. Robin recalled in a heartbeat how just recently, in his hood, on Valentine's Day 2020, youngsters had quit school for a day to go on a protest. He'd seen a polar bear amongst them. It seemed the growing-ups were angry at the grown-ups who were still addicted to old currencies. At least children were being seen and heard these days, and their values were new, yet ancient. If truth be told, thought Robin, time is running out. In a second, the branch on which he sat became a clock hand, spitting him out through another crack in a gable-end wall, slap bang into unseasonal weather that blew him pell-mell towards the bus stop up the high street. It looked like the two teenage girls there had been waiting for some time, shuffling to keep warm. The stop didn't appear to have a timetable. In that moment, Robin wished for them the freedom of the city that he enjoyed. Hop on, hop off, flit in, flit out. A map veined with streets, pulsating with possibilities. You are how you move, he thought. Drifting nestward via Hope Street, he caught a glimpse of the Make Do and Mend hub below, housing libraries of books, toys and tools, as well as the pre-loved clothes shop. The bike co-op had shut for the night, but the community-owned food shop was still doing a roaring trade, and the potluck party at the African Centre was in full swing, all within a 15-minute radius, nestled among the bright and brash city lights. As Robin settled on his streetlight for the nightly serenade, fighting the sound of traffic with sweet song, looking for love, one thing was clear. Another world was not only possible, the seeds of it had already taken root.